What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Boykin Outdoors. On today's little video, I wanted to do an update from my last or one of my previous videos. I was talking about getting a slow pitch jigging rod. Well, it finally came true. I got the slow pitch in the mail today. I unboxed it and I wanted to at least make a video on it, let you guys see what it's all about. And we've got Bear here with us today, gracing us with her presence, so that's cool. So yeah, it's a Goofish slow pitch jigging rod, very light. The slow pitch jigging rods are very parabolic, which means they bend very easily, which is a good thing and a bad thing depending on what you're doing. But for the purposes of slow pitch, it's genius. This particular rod is a Goofish. It is a 6'6". It is the PE 3 to 6. You jig, the recommended jigging jig weight is 150 to 400 grams with a max of 500 grams. That's what it says right on the rod. And its deadlift is 18 kilograms. Like I said, that's right on the rod. That's what they're calling for. That's what it is. It's got a beautiful reel seat here. It's all metal or aluminum, something like that. Very strong, and it's very long. Like when you open the reel seat, it's just very long compared to the other ones, meaning that you could put a very long reel seat into this reel, which was kind of cool. I had not seen one that was quite that big before. The Goofish rod also comes with what they call spiral wrapped or acid wrapped eyelets, which are these right here. And what it is your eyelets start on the top side of the rod, running straight from your reel straight down, almost kind of like a bait caster. And as the eyelets go, they begin to spin around the rod, if you can see that, and they actually end up on the bottom side of the rod. So as you can see here, it's on the top of the rod running down the reel, and as you go down, it ends up on the bottom side down there. And what that's supposed to do is, as you're jigging, once you hook up, it's supposed to keep the rod from rocking in your hands like that a little bit. It's supposed to help with the torque of it moving left to right in your hands, which is kind of cool. Like I said, I haven't tried it. I've fished with one before. I haven't really had much experience. Just can't really remember what it was like. So I'm very interested to see if that's actually the case. They make left spiral wraps, which is what this one is. This is a left spiral wrap, acid wrap rod. They also make right spiral wrap rods as well. And what the website said that I read was, you're supposed to, whatever hand you're reeling with, so I'm reeling with my right hand in this case, the eyelets are supposed to go to the opposite side of what you're reeling. But it also does say on their website that it really doesn't matter, which tells me that it probably isn't going to make a huge difference, but I'm very curious to see if it will make a difference. So that's going to be cool to listen or to watch for this year. And like I said, if you didn't watch the previous video, I put the Torium on it. This is the Torium 16 PG. 33 pounds of drag, big power handle, very, very tight drag, very small clicks on the drag. That's what I just decided to pair it with. I'm excited to try that. I've got 30-pound Runkle braid on there. I've heard a lot. It's going back and forth between Runkle and some other stuff. I figure I would give this a shot, and if this is not pleasing me throughout the season, I will replace this and put something better on there. But for 38 bucks, for the PE line, like I said, this 30-pound PE, very, very thin line, we're gonna give it a shot. And it goes down, and like I said, I've got this rigged to a 50-pound fluorocarbon leader. I've got an FG knot tied up here at the top. I know you probably can't see that, because I want these eyelets on these rods are extremely, extremely small. So you want a knot that can slide through those eyelets relatively easily. And so that's why I want the FG. It's a little thinner, a little slimmer. Probably could stand to trim a little bit of my tag on that knot, but it's working for right now. I'll probably trim it before I fish. So there's that. And then it runs down. I've got that 50-pound fluoro coming from the FG knot down to, this is a JIGS R Us sardine slow pitch jig. It's got 4 assist hooks on it, and it is tied to the fluorocarbon on that welded steel ring or stainless steel ring, whatever it is there, with just a uni knot. And that's kind of the setup I'm going to use. It's a very light rod. For people that don't know about slow pitch jigging, do your research. I might put out a video on it once I actually learn how to do it fully. I'm watching a lot of videos, learning myself. But the thought process is, when you're fighting a fish, you're not pumping and reeling. You're not pumping up and reeling down to gain line. You're actually just sticking it and locking it under your arm, and you're just cranking. You're just using that reel as a winch and winching them up, versus, you know, normal, you're pumping and reeling in slack, pumping and reeling in slack. Apparently you don't do that with slow pitch jigs. So that's going to take some getting used to. I'm sure I'll still try to do it. I'm going to have to break that habit when it comes to slow pitch jigging. But yeah, a little bit more about the rod. Like I said, it's 6'6", so for me, I'm about 6 foot, 6'1", somewhere in that range. It's perfect size fit, fits good under the arm. You can see this back, the back padding is actually past my underarm. I have problems with it being in my underarm sometimes because I'm such a tall individual compared to some of the rods that are made. So it's really good. I've got this nice actual rod blank that can slide under my arm while I'm jigging, so it moves up and down, make it easy to jig. So I think that's going to be a awesome thing to have. But like I said, we'll know till we try it. I just wanted to put out what I'm going to be fishing with, kind of what I've got, one of the setups, and see what y'all's thoughts are. And hopefully we'll catch a big fish with it, because these rods look like toys. Like I said, that rod at the thickest part is about the size of my pinky finger, actually even smaller. The thickness is even smaller than my pinky finger. So people look at them and they think it's a toy, they think it's a joke. You'll see videos people put out talking about how they've seen people fishing with it, and they're like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. Next thing you know, he's out fishing the whole boat, because apparently slow pitch jigging is the way to catch them. So it's not a joke, it's not a toy, it's truly a weapon. So we are gonna see if this weapon can bring us some success this year. If you got any questions, comments, concerns about this rod or reel or any part of this setup, leave them below. I'll be glad to try to answer them for you. If you haven't watched the review on this Torium PG16, we have a video about that. You can also watch. And if you go into our videos, our actual YouTube channel, you can learn to tie the uni knot, and I'm going to put a FG knot video up here real soon so you know how to tie both of those knots. And these knots can be used for more than just slow pitch jigging. They can be used all over, and so it's good to know. But there it is. That's the Goofish 6'6" rod rigged to a Torium PG16 with a JIGS R Us sardine 150 gram slow pitch jig, and one with a silver and glow pattern, silver on one side and then it's silver and glow on the other, with 4 assist hooks. And one more thing I wanted to add about these slow pitch jigs: if a slow pitch jig will always be measured in grams. So if you're looking at a jig and you're wondering if it's a slow pitch and it's measured in ounces, it's either a very, very cheap slow pitch jig, and you probably maybe shouldn't waste your money. I'm not trying to steer you away from any products, because maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's great. But a true slow pitch jig will be measured in grams. And that's also why the rod is measured in grams here, because a true slow pitch rod and a true slow pitch jig, everything is going to be in grams because it comes from Japan. It's basically, slow pitch jigging kind of started over in Japan, China area, in a very, very high pressured industries, fisheries. And this was the way that they could fish very, very deep, and it's very, very effective. It's a different presentation. So yeah, like I said, slow pitch jigging, if you don't know anything about it, look it up. It's super interesting. I'm excited to get into it, see what it's all about. It started in Japan, and it's here in the last few years, it's started to become the craze around US and really around like our area, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida. All people are doing this and getting into it, so I wanted to get into it and try it. So if you're interested, let me know. I can help you with things a little bit I know, if you have questions, comments, or concerns. If not, we hope you have a good day or good night, whatever time you're watching this. We hope you'll watch some of our other videos, and don't forget to subscribe. We'll have some fishing videos coming out here soon. So as always, we appreciate your support, and we'll catch you on another video here at Boykin Outdoors.